Caleb had been dead for 8 months when I found the casino withdrawals. I was sitting at our kitchen table in mismatched pajamas, eating stale Cheez-Its straight from the box because real food still felt disrespectful somehow. The dog kept staring at me from the hallway, waiting for a walk I kept forgetting to take. Scott was in the shower, singing badly, same old country song he always butchered. And I was printing tax forms when I noticed the memorial account balance looked wrong. That's it. No dramatic music, no instinct, just me squinting at a number that felt smaller than it should have been. At first, I honestly thought grief had messed up my memory. After Caleb died, weird things started happening in my head. I'd put milk in the pantry, call students at work by Caleb's name. Once, I stood in Target crying because a stranger walked past wearing the same stupid cinnamon gum Caleb used to chew constantly. So when I saw the withdrawal from Riverstone Casino, my brain immediately tried protecting Scott. There has to be an explanation. I clicked deeper anyway, then deeper. Then I stopped breathing for a second. Because there wasn't just one withdrawal. There were dozens. Small enough to hide inside normal expenses. Smart, actually. A few hundred here, 900 there. Once, $3,400 gone 3 days after a church fundraiser done in Caleb's name. I remember staring at the screen while Scott laughed in the shower down the hall. That laugh almost made me sicker than the gambling. Because suddenly, I could hear how normal he sounded. I opened the fridge without realizing it and just stood there holding a bottle of mustard for maybe a full minute while my brain replayed the last few months. Scott crying at the funeral. Scott hugging donors. Scott telling people, "We're trying to keep Caleb's spirit alive." Meanwhile, he was apparently feeding slot machines with dead kids' sympathy money. I wanted to storm upstairs, I really did. Instead, I did something pathetic. I checked the account again, hoping the numbers would change. Like maybe banks glitch now. Like maybe God would feel bad for me specifically. Scott came downstairs in sweatpants, rubbing his wet hair with a towel. "You okay?" he asked. And here's the embarrassing part. I almost told him. Not yelled, told. Like, maybe if I asked gently enough, he'd hand me some explanation that would put my marriage back together. That's what people don't understand about betrayal. Your brain fights humiliation harder than truth. "Yeah," I said finally. "Just tired." He grabbed leftover lasagna from the fridge and started eating it cold over the sink. I watched him chew and suddenly remembered Caleb at 15 doing the exact same thing after baseball practice. That nearly broke me more than the bank records. Because grief turns ordinary things radioactive. That night, after Scott fell asleep, I took his phone into the bathroom. Not because I'm noble, because I'm nosy when I'm scared. The password was still Caleb's birthday. I sat there on the closed toilet lid staring at that for a long time. Inside the phone, there weren't love messages or secret families. Honestly, I almost wish there had been. Cheating, at least, would have felt ordinary. Instead, I found gambling apps, sports bets, messages with people from town thanking Scott for protecting Caleb's legacy. And the replies. Jesus. That was the worst part. Not greedy replies, not cartoon villain stuff. Performative grief. Caleb would have loved seeing the community come together like this. Every donation means a lot to our family. Our boy deserved to be remembered. I actually slapped my hand over my mouth because I thought I might scream loud enough to wake him. Then I did something ugly. I opened Caleb's old voicemail thread. just to hear somebody honest. There was one from 2 years earlier where he called asking if I could bring him deodorant before practice because he forgot again. I listened to it 4 times sitting on the bathroom floor while my husband slept 15 feet away after stealing from our dead son. That's the kind of detail nobody puts in inspirational stories. The next morning, Scott asked if I wanted to come help set up the memorial banquet. I almost laughed coffee through my nose. "People keep asking about you," he said carefully. "They're worried." Translation: "You've been grieving too publicly, and it's making people uncomfortable." Small towns love tragedy until it stays too long. At work, one of the teachers touched my shoulder and said, "Your husband's been so strong through all this." I smiled so hard my jaw hurt. That afternoon, I finally printed the full account history at the bank. $17,000 gone. The teller recognized my name immediately. "Oh," she said softly. "The scholarship fund. Your husband's usually the one handling deposits." Something about the way she said "husband" made heat crawl up my neck. I suddenly wondered how many people thought Scott was the stable parent. How many quietly thought I was the broken one. By Thursday, I started noticing things I'd ignored for years. How Scott lied before the truth even became inconvenient. How he'd exaggerate stories for sympathy. How he borrowed grief depending on the audience. With church people, he acted devastated. With his friends, he acted burdened. With me, he mostly acted tired. Thursday night, I found him sitting in Caleb's room holding one of his hoodies, actually crying. Not fake crying either. Red face, snot, shoulders shaking. And it completely messed me up, because for one terrible second, I saw the man I married again. "You miss him?" I asked quietly. Scott nodded hard without looking at me. Then he said something I still think about. "I just wanted things to feel normal for 5 minutes. Not, 'I'm sorry.' Not, 'I panicked.' Just normal. Like our son's death had become something he needed relief from instead of respect for." The banquet was Saturday. 200 people. Maybe more. Half the town showed up wearing blue because Caleb's baseball team colors were blue. There were memory boards everywhere.